Good morning, kindergarten friends. It's Mrs. Gardner this morning with today's Read Aloud. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm going to read a family favorite. It's quite a short book, but I have a little surprise for you at the end. Today's story is called Hide and Snake, and it's written by Keith Baker. You might recognize Keith Baker's name. We read a lot of his stories at the beginning of the year. You might remember the story, The Big Fat Hen. He wrote that story and illustrated that book as well. Let's go ahead and read the title page, Hide and Snake by Keith Baker. Now in this book, you're going to be looking for this snake throughout the book. It's quite a short book, but I hope you enjoy it. Let's start. Ready or not, here I go. I'm looping through the yarn. Now if you look carefully, you can see parts of the snake. But where is his head? I found his tail. And if you look through the whole page, you might find him. You see his eye peeking out. So we can follow his body. And there he is. I'm looping through the yarn and curling round the hats. Where does it look like he's hiding? I don't see him in this hat or this hat. Ooh, oh, that looks, oh no. There's his eye, there he is. He's wrapped around that hat. Curling around the hats. Wrapping round the presents. Oh boy, there's a lot going on this page. I wonder what all these presents are for. Where could he be? There he is. He's all tied up in this big green present. And napping with the cats. This cat's name is Stop, and this cat's name is Go. Oh, I see a little bit of his tail. There he is. He's asleep right here, sharing the ball with this cat. I'm frosting the cakes. Oh, this looks like a fun idea for today. Oh, I don't see him yet. Do you? Look, I see his tongue. There he is. And he's wrapped around the cake. And ticking with the clocks. Oh, boy. Oh, this looks like his pattern, but that's not him. I don't see him in this clock. Oh, I see his tail. And there's his eye. He's up at the very top of that clock. Melting in ice cream. Oh, there's my favorite, mint chocolate chip. I wonder if your favorite's on this page. There looks like some strawberry and some fudgesicles, blueberry pie. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's so hard to see. And there's his eye. So he's wrapped all around in this sundae. Yum. And sliding through the socks. Wow, there's a lot of socks. There he is. And he's inside this one sock. And there's his tail. That's awesome. I'm playing with the toys. Oh, somebody made a yarn snake. That's cute. There he is. He's inside the shuttlecock, which you use if you play badminton. Some of you might be able to play that at home. Twisting around vases. Keep checking for him. Oh, this looks a lot like him. And there's his eye. He's part of the handle of the vase. Weaving through baskets. Pears, that looks yummy. Can't wait till those are in season. Asparagus and apple and cherries and grapes. Oh, he's inside with the grapes. He's very hard to see. And he's woven inside the basket. And tangling with the laces. Boy, there's a lot of different shoes. Why would you need this kind of shoe? Yeah, to go ice skating. There's the skate right there. Oh boy, and this is an old kind of shoe with wheels on it. What kind of shoe is going to have wheels on it? And that as a roller skate. Oh, there he is. He is the actual laces inside the sneaker. I'm hiding from you in the garden with lots of fresh beets. He's hiding from you. There's his eye. He's hard to find in so many places. And he's on his way. I hope you enjoyed our story today called Hide and Snake. And today we're going to make a snake that you can make at home. So let me move my thing out of the way and get all of the supplies that I need now. So to make my snake, I made a macaroni snake, and he looks like this. Made a little macaroni snake using just stuff I had rolling around in my house, in my cupboards, and then I could try to recapture what happens in the book and try to do those same things with my snake and see if my family members can find the snake inside other things. So let's talk about how to make your own pasta snake. You can use any kind of pasta that you want. I chose little tiny pastas called diatini, and here they are. They're kind of like his little rattle. And then I used something called penne right here, which is this little tube one, which is my green one and my purple one and my green one. And then I used something called rigatoni, which looks a lot like penne, but it's a little fatter and it isn't all pointy on the ends. And then for his face, I used just a little shell that I had. This is just what I had lying around in my kitchen, and I bet you have a lot of pasta lying around in your kitchen too. So you can paint your pasta. I didn't happen to have any paint at home, so I decided to make and color my pasta with food coloring. So I want to show you how to do that real quick. This is something that your parents have to help with. So to make food dyed pasta, food coloring dyed pasta, you take 1 teaspoon of rubbing alcohol and you put it in with your pasta inside of a bag. Zip the bag up and kind of shake it and smush it around so all of the pieces get wet. You can do this with vinegar, but vinegar makes the pasta get really, really soggy and it will smell very vinegary for a very long time. So I just use rubbing alcohol and just squish it around so all of the pieces are nice and coated, okay? And then I just choose my color for dye. And yellow is very hard to see because the pasta is kind of yellow colored, so you'd have to use a ton of yellow to try to make it vibrant yellow. You just need a couple drops. So I'm gonna use green. I'm gonna put in a couple drops. This is something your parents need to do because food coloring really stains. It colors your hand, it colors your clothes, and it stains. I'm just gonna put in 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And then I'm going to shake it up. You can see the bag is starting to change green. I'm gonna rub it all together, keep rubbing it. If I wanted a super dark color, I can add a few more drops. And this isn't looking very dark, so I'm gonna add just a few more drops. 4 or 5, just 2 more drops. You don't need a ton. And keep going. Scrunch it all around, just like this. This is something that you can do. You just don't wanna press too hard on the bag because if the bag gets a little hole in it, you're going to turn green as well. Once your pasta is the color that you would like, you just spread it out onto paper towels, parchment paper, tin foil, whatever you happen to have at home. This is parchment paper, and I'm gonna lay it out to dry, just like this. Just dump it, and you just let it dry overnight. The pieces should be a little bit separate so they're not all touching, and then the next morning when you wake up, it's gonna look nice and dark like this. I've made some green ones, I've made some red ones. I tried to make some purple ones, it just didn't come out very well, and I made some dark blue ones. So now I wanna make my snake. So all you need is just a piece of string. It could be yarn, it could be string, it could be dental floss, it could be pretty much anything that you have in the house that's thin. And I'm going to take my string and I'm gonna start with my little rattle. Now, when you start, you put 1 little piece of pasta in it and tie it off with 1 tie and then tie it off again so that the double knot stays tied, okay? Let me just slide it. I don't know why I hadn't slid it all the way to the end. So let's just tie that off again. One, and then tie again. Now I decided that I wanted to do a pattern. So I started with blue, and then I think I'll put a little red one on, and then a green one on. Ooh, this one's really, oh, it's two stuck together. And then a purple one, and then I'm gonna just keep threading it through back to my pattern. So now I need blue because I started with blue, and then red, and then green, and then purple. So right now I've got my little rattle, kind of like a little bit of his tail. Now it's time to just use the bigger pasta, and you can go in any order that you would like. I think I'm going to continue my pattern, so I should start with blue. So I'll go blue, and then I'm going to use a bigger one and do red. Whoop. And then I'm going to put in a green one. Green. And then my purple, which is not very purple, but that's okay. It is the best I could do. Go back to blue. And red. And then green. And another one. Oops, I can't get in that one, so I'm going to just choose a new piece. Oops. Green. And finally, purple. So now this is about as big as I want my snake. And now it's time to put his head on. I just need to find my scissors back here. So this is a little too much. So I'm going to cut off just a little bit of the white because my snake is as big as I want him to be. So I'm going to just cut off a little tiny bit. And now I have to put his face on. So to do that, I get my pasta shell or any other kind of pasta that you have. You can choose whatever you'd like for his head. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the tip of the white string. Put some glue on it. There we go. And I'm going to put his head inside it and hold it for a little bit. Now this glue is going to take a little bit of time to dry. So since your pasta is drying overnight, you'll make your snake tomorrow, and then you can put on his head tomorrow. Probably take about an hour for the glue to dry. And when I was all done, I'll show you on my one that is all done, because this now has to sit and dry. I just took my marker and I drew little eyes on my snake. And now I have my own hide and snake, and I can play a game with my siblings or my parents at home to try and reenact today's story. I hope you had fun with me today, boys and girls. Thanks so much for listening. Have a good day. Bye-bye.